Hey, Flocomrades, how you guys been doing? It's your boys in here and welcome back to our newest Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves an OU tier match against Emil, and you guys already know it. Basically, based on the layout, this match is gonna be a very close one. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go directly into it. The start was very strong, very interesting. We got blue versus red. We got the old rivals since the 1996 just Pokemon, man. Once it started, the nostalgia here right now, duking it out for all time's sake. I decided to Mega Evolve as he decided to switch out to Conkeldurr. Now something was telling me he could be Y and he could go for a potential Solar Beam. As you can see, this was definitely something that I didn't expect, and it still managed to get some luck factors involved, as I do manage to confuse him, giving myself 50% chance to not allow him to do anything afterwards, and that's exactly what happened. So basically incredibly lucky on our behalf, very strong start, and just go for Aura Sphere, expecting him to switch out because basically he's gonna be taken down by anything I do, Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere, so I may as well change up my moves a bit, making it a little bit more unexpected, and he will probably expect the predictable Water Pulse as I kept on going with it. As this thing comes in, he is also, I believe, a stockpile set, and the thing is, I was not expecting him to be actually slower than me. Basically, the reason I'm saying this is because I'm Brave Nature, and I believe that gains me attack bonuses, and it gives minus to speed. So I was really not expecting to be slower than me, but I guess Quagsire is very slow, and I'm just kind of underestimating his Aegislash speed at this point. Anyways, I switch out to my Rotom, and he does make the great move right here, expecting me to switch out, probably expecting Earthquake, so he does decide to go for the Toxic, originally aiming towards Aegislash, of course expecting the switch. As I go for the Leaf Storm, I was in no position because I'm poisoned. I'm kind of a bit forced to do the obvious. I'm Specs. If I over-predict and he predicts me to over-predict, then he can just stay in, go for the Recover. I'm not too sure if they can gain Recover after running Stockpile. I'm not too sure about Quagsire in general. One thing is for certain, and that was that I had to play it safe, as he did decide to sack his Repulsion to switch out to Charizard and pretty much decimate anything on my team. So my plan right now is to switch out to Aegislash, pretty much to be a Death Fire, because I'm looking at his team. He's got his Diggersby, he's got he's got Greninja that is possibly running Dark Pulse, because most of them tend to run Dark Pulse, and I'm thinking, this thing is really not going to be working for me all that well. Most of the things on his team pretty much hit me for super effective damage, so I decided to go for Shadow Sneak, as he does go for Air Slash. I do tend to take that. He takes this opportunity to switch out directly into his Diggersby, as I do go for the Shadow Sneak again, just to gain some damage, just try to keep on going with it, as he does finish me off with an Earthquake. That's quite unfortunate, but basically my Aegislash is a little bit different. It does not run King Shield, and that's why you haven't seen me using it. It's got Reflect, which is very strange and probably a bad idea, but sometimes you just want to use stuff and kind of judge it on your own. Sometimes you see them on paper, but you just want to like experience with it. But basically I don't feel it's really gonna be working for me, at least not on this team. So I'll go for the Dragon Claw against the Quagmire. He's gonna go for the Scald. I do run the Lump, so even if he does decide to burn me with this one, it's fine, because we're gonna get rid of it in the next turn. And also, not to mention that he does manage to break my Multiscale, so that is probably something that he was mostly going towards. The burn was still there, but it's not something you can guarantee yourself to kind of grab it and hope for the best. So just generally go for the Dragon Claw. I do manage to outspeed him, which kind of indicates that he is running a Bandit set, because some of them tend to be Scarf, some of them tend to be Bandit. I'm not too sure which one is the more famous one, but that's because I haven't really been faced by many Diggersbys, and that's because OU is something I tend to play, but I don't tend to play as much as I tend to play lower tiers. So basically OU as of right now for me is quite fresh of an experience. Anyways, he's gonna switch out to this. Return on Diggersby was also probably a mistake. Happiness of his is probably not at max, so switch out to Conkeldurr against this. Basically I know that most of them don't tend to run Brave Bird, and that's why I take this opportunity to switch out to Conkeldurr, just to regain the HP, just keep on stocking up the damage. He does have the Rocky Helmet, but it's fine, because I know I'm gonna force him to either attack me, where he's gonna be taken down, or he will go for the Roost, negating his Flying type, making him actually weak to the likes of Drain Punch. So I'm gonna gain way more HP than I would have, and also I'm gonna, basically mathematically speaking, he will have to attack me eventually, and I will pretty much take him down to where Mach Punch will outspeed him and pretty much, you know, 100% take him out. So that's pretty much my plan right now, and I believe at the end of the day it will also come down to a double down, which is incredible because, you know, double downs, most of them tend to happen like this. You know, how else we get a double down outside of Self-Destruct, Destiny Bound, you know, stuff like that mostly. But most of them tend to happen with a self-recall in cases like Life Orb and so forth. So with the double down, I was expecting him to, you know, switch out to his Greninja, one of his fastest Pokemon, if not his fastest probably. But he switches out to Charizard. Basically, Rotom was a sack for, you know, which is just fodder in case he does decide to switch out to Diggersby. Could be still a feint, but he did, you know, go into Charizard, which I did decide. You know, Rotom pretty much looking at his team. Greninja outspeeds it, Charizard takes him out anyways. I don't have much opportunities to do anything with it afterwards, as I switch out to my Talonflame to pretty much, you know, threaten the Charizard. As he switches out to Diggersby, pretty much had to switch out to one thing to preserve the other, so he decided to, you know, to kind of take out Diggersby. So I'm thinking maybe he didn't have Quick Attack. That could be still useful. Banded Quick Attack still packs a punch, but then again I do have the Dragonite that could probably take one. He does go for the Surf. He does score a crit that was Life Orb boosted crit, and I'm surprised. Dragonite is incredibly bulky. I should probably start to run special defensive Dragonite because that took it incredibly well, as he does manage to take me down with Ice Beam, which is fine because my plan right now is to switch out to Blastoise to kind of try to scout if he does potentially run the Grass Knot, which some Greninjas tend to do, and he is no exception, as Blastoise, I believe, is quite a heavy Pokemon, so I believe that's around 100 base Grass Knot or 120, I'm not too sure. That did way more than I was expecting, so I'm guessing more towards the absolute max, but Blastoise unfortunately is going to get two-shot very easily, as Life Orb is gonna take down his Greninja. So ladies and gentlemen, another double down. Definitely not something I tend to be used to. I tend to get like one double down per match, but this was two, and this is quite incredible. As Fire versus Fire is gonna come down to the great finale, not to mention that it was water against water with the Blastoise, and now Fire versus Fire. This is something different, ladies and gentlemen, as Talonflame is gonna come in and just rule supreme, take him out, and that was the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed this match with me. Also, a little bit of a note, in our previous OVU battle, I believe we faced the Charizard X, and we also took him out with the Talonflame. So Talonflame really stood out, you know, it really is an incredible Pokemon, and I know some people just have this passion to hate this Pokemon, and you know, it's just a real dangerous threat. You gotta preserve your Pokemon at reasonable amount of health, or else they will get O-Code, and Talonflame just doesn't have the bulk, you know, it doesn't take moves as well as one would want, but it's a Pokemon that really puts people into this pressure state to preserve the bulky threats. Yet unfortunately I was kind of scratching his team to a point where Talonflame could just, you know, go through the rest of his guys that was already wounded to a point where they were killable. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed this match with me. If you did enjoy, as always guys, be sure to give a like. Thank you very much guys for continued support, and until next time, take care, peace.